Guys, what have we got in this morning? We have got a beautiful Peugeot, actually a Fiat, so it's the Peugeot Fiat Citroen van motorhome. Let's have a look what we got. So, look at that, what an absolute beauty. Customers complaining that the outside temperature gauge is not working. So let's have a quick look to see what we have got in here. So what is it saying in now? So it's saying that the door is open, so I will shut the door. Right, so according to that, the temperature at the outside is 48 degrees. Now, the problem with this outside temperature sensor is that the DPF and a few other modules take reference from the outside temperature. Now, I have had this before where the temperature gauge does not work and the DPF will not do a regeneration because it doesn't know what the outside temperature is. So what happens is it goes into somewhere, they say it needs a DPF, it needs this, it needs cleaning, give it back to them. It lasts for about 2 weeks, maybe a week to 2 weeks, and then the light comes back on again, it's clogged up, it goes back in, they chuck some more parts out, all because they don't understand that the DPF system uses the outside temperature to work out when to do a regeneration. If it's too cold or if it's too hot, it will make allowances for that, but it does need an outside temperature reference to work out what it's doing. So 48 degrees is miles too hot because I think I've just done a check on it and we're about 12 degrees. So on these vehicles, the actual temperature, outside temperature sensor is built into the mirror. So let me show you. Oh. Okay, so the outside mirror, and if you look under there, see it? You can see that the temperature sensor sits there. Now what tends to happen is these mirrors get hit, these get replaced, and I think they do give options with or without the sensor. So people put them on and then all of a sudden they start getting DPF issues because it says that the outside temperature sensor is not working. So there's two options. We either replace the mirror with a sensor, or we can get an external a sensor on its own, which we will take that apart now and see if we can just replace the sensor, because obviously the price difference is absolutely huge. I think my wife managed to get the sensor off Amazon. Don't think it was too expensive, so we'll keep you posted. So as you can see, that is the guilty party. 2 wires, and I think the last one I did on here, I know this does show us green and red, but I think the last one I did on one of these vehicles in the mirror, it's just 2 black wires, so I don't think it matters either way, but I will show you that as we take it out. A lot of people go to the effort of removing this, removing all of that, removing the mirror out, taking the wiring out of here, but you don't need to do that if you're just replacing the sensor. That's only if you want to replace the mirror. So the plan is going to be on here, as you can see, plan is going to be, we're going to gently remove these mirror glasses, and if they're heated, make sure the wires are removed from there, both sides. And I think there's about 6 bolts, and then we've got to pry this part open. But what I'll do, let's get a video going and I'll show you how we get on with this. Let's see if we can get this out without breaking it. That is the key to this situation. Just gently pop it up from the bottom. It should just pop off here. And as you can see on this one, it is heated. So we just remove these 2 wires. Without breaking that as well. Oh man, that is well and truly on there, that one. That one's off. That one's off. So, one mirror off. Keep it safe inside the vehicle. But you can already see the bolts that hold the back cover on. We're going to do the same on the bottom. These don't break. These don't break. Don't break. That's it. This is exactly the same. Again, just make sure you hold it while we take those off. So another one off. Nice and simple. Put a microphone in there. And all we're going to do, guys, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can start prizing this off because the sensor sits in the bottom of here. So let me quickly go and get a Torx for that, and then I'll show you exactly what we need. Right, don't forget, guys, before you start taking all of this apart, that this needs to come out. And to do that, on the inside there's 2 Phillips screws. As you can see, 2 on the inside, but these have to come out before you can split the mirror case. That's it. And all that does, just releases that for the bulb. All I tend to do, oh, it's tight in there, isn't it? Just pop that out, and if you're worried about damaging the bulb, take the bulb out at the same time. But I've done a few of these, so I'm not too worried about that. Right, look at that. So now we can go ahead and remove this here, and this is where the sensor wire sits, which, to be honest, looks like it's been glued previously. So going to pop that round and pull that out, and as you can see, this has been repaired before because I can see all the electrical tape that is on that switch, or that sensor wire there. So let's have a look to see what we're doing. Nice and easy. All we're going to do is just split this sheath, which we'll then reuse with a bit of electrical tape just to reveal the 2 wires that we need. That's it. So we've got a nice bit of wire out of there. So what we'll do is we'll cut this off, we'll join the 2 wires and see on the inside if that temperature sensor is now working. I'm going to cut it as close to that as possible, so just cut them off. And what we're going to do, just going to strip back these 2 wires that we've cut so that they can accept the new sensor. So just for the minute, I'm just going to wind that on so I can see if the sensor's actually working. So that is the sensor there. As you can see, that we've already removed the back off here, which you'll see in the video leading up to this. We've just put it on here just to see if this is going to work before we put it all back together. So, a moment of truth. Have we gone from 48 degrees? Let's have a look. Yes. So we are at 24 degrees. So it definitely does work. Let's get all this put back together. And yeah, let's get it finished. Now that we know this is working, all we're going to do is just cut a piece of cable here to join it, and then we'll stick it back through the mirror. I'm going to give it a little bit of extra than what we had before. Nice and easy. That's it. Just so we've got nice bits to join to. Right. Now that is as simple as that. New sensor in and repaired. So exactly the same way as we took it out. There's a hole down the bottom, it sits through the hole and it locks itself in the bottom. So basically it can't fall out. And that is that sorted. So bulb holder back through, and then we get the cover back on. Look at that. So now all we've got to do is put the indicator back in, which is the 2 Phillips screws, the 5 screws, 5 Torx on the front, mirrors back in, and that job is a good one. Okay, so bulb back in. That's there. And that just screws in through the side. Getting hot now, isn't it? So refitting the mirrors now. Right, well, that is done.